If you have ever wondered how to create a dynamic, spinning gradient border animation using HTML and CSS, then this video is for you. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to create this amazing effect all using CSS. So without any further ado, let's get started. So let's start with the HTML. This is going to be fairly straightforward. In the body, there's going to be a main tag, which is used to wrap the main content of the page. Inside that, we have got a div with a class of box, which holds some text content in it. This is the box we will be styling and animating. Now that's all you need for the HTML. Now let's move on to the CSS part. So first off, we define a CSS custom property called spin angle. This is super cool because it allows us to store and reuse the value of the spinning angle, which will control the direction of the gradient animation. So here the syntax property with the angle tells CSS that this property expects an angle, so we can pass in values like 45 degrees or 90 degrees, etc. and so on. Then the property initial value of 45 degree sets the default value of spin angle to 45 degrees. And then the inherits of false means that this custom property won't inherit from parent elements, meaning that each element will define its own value. Then after that here, we define some global CSS variables in the root selector. This means these variables will be available throughout the whole document. Here the BG color is the background color of the page, which is a dark shade of blue. Then the box color is the color of the box itself, which is a dark grayish blue. Then the CLRA, CLRB and CLRC are three colors that will be used in the gradient animation. These are bright and eye-catching, making the gradient pop. After that, this part of the code is a universal reset. It makes sure that all elements and pseudo-elements, which is the after and before, don't have any default margin or padding that browsers might apply, which could mess up the layout. The box sizing border box ensures that padding and border don't mess with the element size. After that, here we set up the body styling. So I'll first give it a height of 100 VH, which makes the body fill the full height of the viewport, then a width of 100%, which makes sure the body spans the full width, then an overflow of hidden, which ensures that no content spills outside of the body even when we animate things. Then I'll give a background color, which will be the variable BG color, which applies the dark blue color we defined earlier. Then I'll give it a font family of Poppins sans serif, which gives the text a nice modern look using the Poppins font. Then for the main element, we make it full height and width, but the magic happens when we use display flex, which turns main into a flex container. Then justify content center and align item center the box class both horizontally and vertically. This means no matter the size of the screen, the box will always be perfectly centered. Then now, styling the box class is where the fun starts. So I'll first add a position of relative because it allows us to position the pseudo elements, which is after and before, relative to the box. You will see what I mean soon. Then I'll add height of 22 rem and a width of 14 rem to give the box a fixed size. After that, give a border radius 0.5 rem to round the corners of the box, giving it a smooth look. Then I'll give a cursor of pointer to change the cursor to a pointer when hovering over the box, signaling interactivity. Then I'll give it a background color of the variable box color to set the background color of the box, and then a padding of 2 rem to give some space around the text inside the box, then a display flex, justify content center, align item center and text align of center to center the text both horizontally and vertically inside the box. And lastly, a color of white to ensure the text inside the box is white. Then this part is where we apply the spinning gradient effect. So here we are using the after and before pseudo class to add additional elements to the box. These are invisible but affect the box's appearance. Then position absolute places them on top of the box, while z index of -1 ensures they stay behind the box content. Then an inset of -0.3 rem gives a little space around the edges of the box. The background property uses a conic-graident, which creates a circular spinning gradient. We are passing in our custom spin angle to make it spin around the box. Then a border radius of inherit, which makes sure the edges of the gradient match the rounded corners of the box. The animation property is where the spinning magic happens, using the spin keyframes to rotate the gradient over 3 seconds. Then finally, the box after pseudo element gets a blur effect using filter blur of 1 rem. This softens the gradient, making it look even cooler and more dynamic. And last but not the least, we define the keyframes for the spinning effect. This defines the start and end points of the animation, where 0% sets the spin angle to 0 degrees, which is start of the animation, and 100% sets it to 360 degrees, completing the full circle. And that's it. You've now learned to create an amazing gradient border animation using HTML and CSS. In this video, we have covered custom properties, CSS animations, and even some cool tricks with pseudo-elements. It's a fun and interactive effect that adds a dynamic feel to any website. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.